Ladies and gentlemen, today's video is brought to you by Monoprice, who you might already know for their extremely well-made, low-priced, and lifetime warranty-backed cables of all varieties. But today I'm going to show you really quickly some of the other products from Monoprice that I use on a regular basis. Monoprice does pro audio now, so down here is the small soundboard that we use every week for our awesome hardware live show. Up here is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. This one sounds great. We haven't used it yet, but we're going to be integrating it very soon. We also have professional audio accessories such as this boom stand over here, as well as the pop filter. Monoprice has a wide variety of power banks. This one belongs to my wife, and they have other models available as well. Here's my wife's wireless Bluetooth headphones. So these she connects up to her smartphone, and then she can wander around the house listening to her music or her audiobooks. It's fantastic. Monoprice also has these tripods here. Did you know Monoprice had tripods? Yes. There's a aluminum one, there's a carbon fiber one. Both of those will convert into monopods if you need them to. There's also a smaller multi-purpose tripod down there, and all of those come with carrying cases. Over here is the Monoprice 4K monitor with the glossy screen, and I've done a full video review on that, so you can check that out if you want. And lastly, we have the Steve, Helping Hand Steve model, available at Monoprice soon, right,
Actually,
Steve?
no, I'm not, but definitely we're here to support you, Paul, and we're happy to do it. On top of that, you guys can pick up all of these products at monoprice.com.
All right, and Steve, very soon.
Excellent!
Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am going to start this gaming notebook review out by stating a simple fact. I don't game on notebooks. Not that I never have, I just tend to prefer the desktop experience better. Larger screens, higher resolution, more graphics horsepower. So when Nvidia started talking up their 900M series GPUs like they could actually compete with desktop graphics, I was skeptical, but when Aorus offered me to send me their new X7 ProSync gaming laptop with G-Sync, I decided to take a look and see for myself. So your headline items with the X7 ProSync, at least the model I have, some specs may vary, are of course the not one but two GTX 970M GPUs in SLI, the 2.5 GHz Intel Core i7-4870HQ quad-core CPU with 3.6 GHz turbo and hyperthreading, 16 gigs of DDR3 memory installed with 4 SODIMM slots total available for up to 32 gigs if you want to upgrade later, and a 2x256GB mSATA SSD RAID 0 array for the operating system, making for a super fast 512 gig main drive to go along with the 1TB mechanical hard drive for mass storage. And of course, we mustn't forget G-Sync variable refresh rate technology from Nvidia that synchronizes the display's refresh rate with the graphics card's frames per second output in order to eliminate tearing and stuttering for I can't believe it's not buttery smooth gameplay. Trademark on that phrase. Now, the X7 and X7 Pro models have been available from Aorus for some time now. Unfortunately, due to hardware limitations, those models can't be upgraded to G-Sync via drivers or firmware, so this new model is required if you want that new Nvidia technology. Before we take a look at some benchmark tests and performance numbers though, let's do a once-over to give you a better feel for this laptop as a whole. Size-wise, the X7 ProSync remains very slim and portable for a gaming laptop, measuring only 16.85 inches wide, just over 12 inches from front to back, and slim at 0.9 inches thick. At 6.6 pounds, it's lighter than most all other gaming laptops in its class, aside from the notable Razer Blade Pro, and it has an all-black matte finish with a bit of a ridge near the center of the lid and a chromed Aorus Eagle logo. The fact that Aorus didn't go all gamery with the design is a good thing in my opinion, and I think that this laptop would also make a great workstation, as it would easily blend into an office environment. You'll notice a ton of exhaust going on near the back and along the rear edge of the notebook. This comes into play hugely when you're gaming under full load. Apart from that, there's a nice array of connectivity. Along the left side, there's separate mic and headphone jacks, a USB 3.0 port, D-sub VGA out, HDMI out, a full-size RJ45 Ethernet jack, and a Kensington lock port near the back. Along the back edge of the notebook, there's your primary ventilation, power port, and a couple USB 2.0 ports at the center, which is great for connecting a mouse and keyboard up without eating up your USB 3.0 ports. On the right side, there's a mini display port out, another HDMI out, 2 more USB 3.0 ports, and an SD card reader. There's no connection points along the front edge, but you do get a set of activity lights along the right side for Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, drive activity, battery, and brightness. Opening up the lid reveals a chiclet-style full keyboard with numpad, as well as a set of programmable macro keys along the left. You can save sets of macros and cycle through them with the color-coded G key. The trackpad has kind of a glass-like surface, which isn't my favorite, to be honest, but the tracking was okay, and I don't think any manufacturer has yet found a trackpad that appeals to everyone out there. The keyboard has the typical set of function shortcut keys that you'd expect along the top, a bit of subtle highlighting along the WASD keys because gaming notebook, and I did note that it's a pretty shallow keyboard with not a ton of travel for the scissor switches. Not a deal breaker, but something to note if you're particular about your laptop keyboard. Finally, on the inside of the lid, we have an HD webcam with mic, and of course, the 17.3-inch IPS matte display with G-Sync support. This is a 1920 by 1080 HD screen, which is good if you're considering that it will mean higher frame rates in games than a 1440 or 4K display, but bad if you wanted a 1440 or 4K display. Personally, I think 4K displays on laptops this size are just kind of silly, especially since you'd have a hard time pushing that even with 970Ms and SLI. But 1440 might have been a consideration here. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Either way though, IPS means you get great color reproduction. The brightness is good, the contrast seems just slightly washed out, but really the special sauce here is the G-Sync, and I will continue to say with laptops what I say with desktops, that variable refresh rate is the future, and you won't want to go back to it once you've tried it. Some testing though. First off, some battery life. It's not that wonderful. Maybe this is expected in a desktop replacement / gaming laptop, but you can expect 2 to 3 hours of life with normal active use. That's with the screen on and web browsing. No power saving functions, of course. And if you're gaming on the battery, expect more like 1 to 1.5 hours. This can be extended with the power saving features that I'm going to come back to in just a moment, but just plan on keeping that pretty hefty power brick close at hand if you're going to do real work or gaming. I ran the i7 4870HQ through Cinebench with a score of 617. That's just shy of what a desktop i7 3770 would score and right on par with where this mobile chip should be. I fired up Crystal Disk Mark to check the RAID 0 array's performance and was quite impressed. 800 megabytes per second reads, almost 900 megabytes per second writes, 90 to 95,000 IOPS as well, and all while also being the Windows operating system drive. Finally, the games. First, the Synthetic 3D Mark, and just look at some of these score comparisons. 10,671 on Firestrike Normal, better than 90% of results. 5,985 on Firestrike Extreme, better than 74% of results, and both times outpacing the Oculus Rift recommended spec for gaming PCs. These numbers are just shy of what you get with a two-way SLI GTX 960 desktop setup, or just a bit better than a full-size GTX 970. Finally, I played some GTA 5, and whereas I was getting 85 to 90 frames per second with my testing setup, I opted to turn on G-Sync next to give that a shot. It worked beautifully, matching the frame rate to the 75Hz refresh of the monitor and offering some of the smoothest gameplay that I've ever experienced on a laptop. So to recap the positive, I like this laptop's design, the massive gaming performance from the SLI 970Ms, the speedy SSD array, and of course the G-Sync integration. We do have some negatives to point out as well though, and my biggest complaint would be how loud and hot this unit can get while gaming at full speed. The primary GPU will get to around 80 degrees Celsius, and the CPU often hovers at 90 to 95 C under load. The cooling system can handle this, but only by ramping up the fans to really high speeds, which can be quite loud. Another point I'm obligated to make here is that not all games support or scale well with SLI, so you won't always be getting all of that GPU performance that's in there. The laptop also has a very premium price tag, with this configuration selling for $2,600 US as of press time. I'll end with a good way to combat the heat and noise though, which lies in Aorus software package. There is the power switch button, which I only mentioned because it's Aorus' kind of funny way to combat the UI shortcomings of Windows 8 by adding logout, restart, hibernate buttons to the taskbar. Just FYI, also, this laptop can be upgraded to Windows 10 for free, by the way, at least for the remainder of the next year. The more important software is the Command and Control module, which gives you a simple way to enable or disable SLI and G-Sync. You can also reduce blue light output to minimize eye strain, pull up a system monitor, or shortcut to some other features that are usually hidden in the control panel, but it also allows you to adjust fan controls and performance modes. This means you can give up some performance to quiet the system down and get yourself a nice balance between frame rate and fan noise, making your ears bleed. So in conclusion, I will be selling off all of my desktop hardware to become a full-time laptop PC gamer now. That's not really true. I am still a desktop gamer and I don't think that will change anytime soon, but the Aorus X7 Pro Sync does have an audience out there and it is a very well-designed laptop. If the cons that I've listed today do not deter you, if you need desktop gaming performance in a portable package, and if you have the scratch to buy it, of course, and especially if you want to give G-Sync a shot and have it ruin you for gaming on non-G-Sync systems for the foreseeable future, I think this laptop is a great choice for you. Do any of my viewers out there roll with gaming laptops though? I'm curious. So let me know what gaming laptop you have, if any, in the comments section down below. Don't forget to give the like button a love tap while you're at it. Check out the description for links to my store for shirts, not this shirt, but other shirts that are also good, mugs and glasses, and also you'll find a link to this laptop with my Amazon affiliate code that you can click to. That is all for this video, folks, and as always, thank you for watching.